Cowboys OT from the Star in Frisco following a Dallas Cowboys win over the Chicago Bears, 49-29 at AT&T Stadium. Kyle Yeoman's back with you. Let's go back out to AT&T Stadium in Arlington and hear from Coach Mike McCarthy, who knows a thing or two about beating the Bears. It's the 19th time he's done so in his career. Here he is at the podium.
Ready, David?
David Moore, Dallas Morning News. We've sat here after games and asked you about the offense not actually kind of getting in a good rhythm. Can you just talk about today coming out touchdowns on the first 4 possessions?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, really, as a whole football team, I was so happy to see the production today because, I mean, this team has been practicing very well, and that's something as a head coach, you want to see them. Obviously, you want to have success every Sunday, but you definitely want to see them rewarded for doing the extra, and we have. You know, we been really focused on third down offensively. Obviously, you know, I think you get what you emphasize in this league, and had a good day on third down. Knew we had to run the ball today, you know, just respect for their defense and how they play. We definitely hit that. I think we had, 200 yards rushing. So, it's nice to see these guys rewarded because a lot of positive things. We had the ball out a number of times defensively. Obviously, the run defense will, and we know that's the way people are going to continue to really come after us. I thought the Bears had a really good playing a lot of scheme, a lot of different things, a lot of misdirection. So, I think that the new direction today established Monday night against New England. We saw the second version of it. So this is definitely a game we could be better for. But I was just happy with the way the game started because that's what the preparation looked like, and I think that's always a sign of a team hopefully starting to catch a little bit of their groove because it's just like anything to win in this league. You have to have it in all 3 phases, and frankly we haven't done that yet this year. And today is as close as we have gotten to it.
Mike Edwarder with ESPN. Tony Pollard, I assume, at least met your expectations starting for Zeke. Could you just speak to the question of his versatility and how it allows you to be more creative offensively?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, we look at Tony, as a 1 and Zeke as a 1. I know everybody keeps trying to. I mean, we're very fortunate to have this duo of backs. I mean, and we prepare that way, we scheme that way, and Tony just took the lead spot. We planned on the goal is to get him around 20 carries is what I was looking for, and frankly, if the game would have gone a different direction, he could have gone to 30. I mean that is just the outlook as you prepare to play an opponent each and every week. But yeah, Tony's a very disciplined runner, and he's got the home run speed. I mean, he has the ability to run inside the tackles, but then he gets on the perimeter. He's dangerous because he breaks tackles and he can finish the run. So I thought Tony Pollard played the way he always does. He just had more opportunities today.
Mike, the Micah Parsons play, being pushed behind Fields, getting down in that position to make that, just your description of that play and how rare is it for anybody to be able to make that sort of play given where he was and how it unfolded?
Yeah, I mean, Mike is such a dynamic player, and those are game-changing type plays. Not only to, create the takeaway, but to be able to finish it. I was obviously very excited, but part of me is annoyed because he wants to be on offense already. Now, I'm going to have a hard time keeping out of my office. So, but his ball security was awful. So he still needs to focus on defense.
Coach Stu Myrick from the Horn, 104.9 in Austin. Going into the bye with a win. Defensive players took some bumps today, some bumps and bruises. I know you're looking for them to heal up in the bye week. What else are you looking forward to in the bye week?
I'll be honest with you. I'm just looking for these guys to spend as much time as they can with their family and their friends and get away from it. This NFL season is a grind. 17 games is real, and that's the way we approach it. And I think like anything as a head coach, as a younger head coach, do you give them the schedule early? Do you let them plan and so forth? But I gave his team the schedule last Monday, and and with that, I think it's a great opportunity to give them some type of responsibility to make sure they took care of business today. We even talked about 54% of the teams, 54% win of teams going into a bye, and that's not cutting it. We don't want to be in that part of that group, so we want to be in that, in the higher group. We averaged 72+% win percentage in the last 2 years. So I think things like that, because anytime you give a group of people more responsibility, obviously it's the levels of trust you continue to do. And this team is it's built the right way, and it starts in the locker room. And I just like the maturity of how we work this week. This was a good work week, and I think when you have a good work week and you're rewarded, that's obviously that's what I'm looking for. So these guys deserve this time that they have off. We give them instruction and reminders and things like that. As far as the nutritious, talking to them, the strength conditioning. So, this is important for them to get away from it a little bit. And the reality of it is, a lot of them won't. They'll be in here in the facility. That's just kind of the way this group is wired. So, but it's a good time for us as a football team to have a bye week.
So Mike McCarthy and his Dallas Cowboys are at 6-2 entering the bye week. They had a dominant win today over the Chicago Bears. They did so in big fashion, 49-29. And sure, not perfect. Nothing is perfect. No team right now in the NFL is perfect. The only one that has had a perfect record is, of course, the Philadelphia Eagles. You're in a bit of a battle, so it may kind of diminish what the record has looked like to this point, but you'd have to be really happy with the way that this team has stayed consistent throughout the season, especially when things started off so poorly in week one.
Without a doubt. I got to give my hats off to Mike McCarthy out there. I think he's doing a heck of a job with this team. I mean, if we talked about it from last year in that playoff game all the way up to the beginning of this year, everybody was talking about the penalties and how bad this team is and how undisciplined this team is. Slowly but surely, he's gotten this team more disciplined, and they're not hurting themselves as they did at one point. And then you talk about starting fast. I mean, every time I talked about these teams last year, it was, they came out slow. They're not energy. They don't have enough energy. This game right here, they started out fast and they started out furious. And to me, it echoes all the way to Mike McCarthy and how he's changed this culture of this Dallas Cowboys football team. He's done a heck of a job so far.
He's just been consistent, Barry. And Kyle, I mean, he didn't blink. When we lost Dak, he didn't blink. He put in a system. He talked to his offensive coordinator. He made sure that he told his defensive coordinator, "It's yours, baby. We're going to ride to you." He does whatever it takes to get his team prepared and get ready to play football. And he did, once again, Zeke out, no problem. Guys on defense missing, no problem. Guys falling like flies on defense, no problem. He calms his team. He's like the running game. He's consistent. He calms his team, and everybody just rolls behind him.
Yeah. And I'm glad you brought up the slow starts, because even this year it's been kind of wishy-washy on whether or not the Cowboys get off to a slow start. But if they've been better and more consistent at getting off to a better start. And today, if you take that start away, guess what happens when the Bears start coming back? They may be in the lead.
Oh, yeah.
They may be what you're chasing, and the Cowboys may be coming from behind. Not the case today. The Cowboys got off to a hot start. Bears answered, but then Dallas was able to pull away late. So plenty more to come from Mike McCarthy throughout the week. You can catch his entire press conference on DallasCowboys.com. But when we come back, we hear the star of the night, Mr. Tony Pollard, and his thoughts following the 49-29 win. 131 yards on the ground, 3 touchdowns rushing for Tony Pollard, filling in for Ezekiel Elliott. Let's hear his thoughts following the 49-29 win over the Chicago Bears.
Way to start a game. Can you talk about your individual performance today?
Yeah, I feel like we did a great job, playing team ball. It wasn't just about me or anybody else. We did a great job playing team ball. They did a good job, fighting in there at the end, but, we did a good job finishing.
Could you talk about the balance because you guys were throwing the ball and running the ball?
Yeah, we felt like we had pretty good success, with running and throwing the ball today. So we wanted to keep the defense guessing, just switch up the tempos, go fast, go slow, and just keep them on their toes.
Can you describe your first touchdown run?
Oh, man, it was a good one. Which one was the first one?
The 18 yards.
18. I'm trying to think about it.
You got your choice. The first one or the second one, it don't even matter. It was a good day for touchdown.
I just know the last one was tough because I was winded, but you got in there.
And can you talk about the defense as well? They had their hands full with Chicago's running game.
Yeah, I feel like our defense did a good job battling. Other teams are going to make plays. They did a good job of making plays, the Bears, but, we did a good job sticking in there, getting turnovers at the end, and, just finishing.
Everybody was going crazy in here. Was that because you guys got the next week off? Is that what the celebration was all about with the victories?
A little bit of that and a little bit of early game, early finish, so, you add it up. It's a lot of excitement.
Congratulations, TP.
Yes, sir.
A little bit of a statement today, the way you handling things?
I think that's for y'all to decide, but, I'm going to continue to control what I can control, so.
What's like the load that you got today? Because remember earlier in the week we were asking about having a heavy workload. So what did you think of the load you got today?
I think we did a good job, with the roles we had today, getting different backs in there, keeping guys fresh, and, getting carries, throwing the ball around when we needed to. I feel like we had a good game plan.
How would you rate your performance considering you were coming into this game obviously as a starter?
I would say I had a pretty good performance.
Overall, you talked about the team. It was actually a very offensive game. Overall, how would you describe the back and forth of the game today?
I would say it was big for offense. We needed a game like this where we could show that, when we get into the red zone, we can get 7 instead of, finishing with 3 and, just finishing with scores and points, it added up at the end.
You were
talking about changing things up on the Bears defense. Can you talk about going no huddle and up tempo early and often? Was that because they were coming off a short week and tired, or what is it? If it wasn't to do with them and their rest, what does it do for you guys?
We just know it's hard enough playing this game, but once you're winded, you're not thinking the same, you're not communicating the same, so. It's a better chance of, breaking a big play or, breaking a play. So when you like to switch up the tempo, that's what we were thinking.
I think of Dak using his legs today. I think he's a 3rd and 1, and he broke free for like a 24-yard run. What do you think of that?
I think he looked great today, pulling a couple runs, RPOs, using his feet, had the first touchdown he ran in. That was big for us. I feel like he had a great game today, switching it up.
I know you said it's up to.
What a day it was for Tony Pollard getting the job done as we welcome you back into Cowboys OT. Nate Newton, Isaiah Stanback, I'm Kyle Yeomans. Nate, I'll start with you. What has Tony Pollard meant to this squad recently in the way that he has been able to fill in when needed on a day-to-day basis, but then this week when he's the guy, he was certainly the guy.
On one of our shows, Kyle, earlier this week, we had Zeke's father on. And Zeke said, feed Tony Pollard. You're like, what? He's like, yeah, feed Tony Pollard. He's ready to explode all over because he thought that the Bears would come in here tripping and not paying attention to him. You know what? They have to pay attention to him. 14 carries, 131 yards, 3 TDs, and he caught the ball well coming out of the backfield. He's a positive. He's a man to be dealt with.
I think Tony Pollard is duct tape. He is duct tape for this team. He can utilize him on absolutely everything, whether it's back there rushing the ball, whether it's receiving the ball. Even today, blocking. That was the biggest question mark. Can he sit back there and block? Because that's what Zeke normally does. I think they only gave up 1 sack collectively as an offense today. So great job, TP. Be that duct tape. Be whatever they need you to be. Fix it all.
And that offensive line up front certainly paving the way. Those big hog mileys doing their job like Nate Newton loves to see.
Right.
But you also we're going to save the debate for later. Okay, we're gonna enjoy this one. We're gonna give it to Tony Pollard. We're gonna save the debate. Ezekiel Elliott's gonna be another week healthy. You go into the bye week. This was a best case scenario for the Cowboys, thanks to Tony Pollard and that offensive line up front. But when we come back, guy on that defense scored his first career NFL touchdown. It might have been the rookie of the year on the defensive side of the football last year as well. Micah Parsons found the end zone. We hear from him next. 4 sacks for the Dallas defense up against the Chicago Bears in their Week 8 win. 49-29 was the final score. However, it wasn't Micah Parsons that had one of those sacks. It was 4 different Dallas defenders. But one thing that Micah Parsons did today that he hadn't done throughout his already very impressive career, find the end zone. He did that on a fumble recovery, returned it for 6. Here's what he had to say.
Yeah, I'm going through my rush. Once I saw he was stepping up, I kind of retraced, like once you get to a landmark in your rush, and I'm just, pursuing. And then once I see the ball's going, I'm just running to the ball. I see he broke a couple tackles and the ball came out. I just landed on the ball. That kind of popped up, ready to, celebrate with the team. I thought I was down, and everyone's like, go, go, go. And, I just went. Mm-hmm. Oh yeah. Zeke said I look just like him. You know what I'm saying? I think I definitely deserve a rep now. They can't say they haven't seen it in the game, so hopefully I get thrown in a goal line package or a red zone package. But hey, who knows?
There was some similarities between that play and the play you made last week against the Lions at the top of the 1-foot line. You were at the 10-yard line rushing fields, recovered the fumble at 36, and then returned for a touchdown. How much does that speak to kind of your dogged pursuit of the football no matter what happens?
That just shows effort, man. You can't teach effort. Coach has been hounding on me about my superpower. Like I told you guys last week, and just running to the ball regardless of if you make the play, not make the play, but you just never know what happens on the football field. And kids out there who made like, I'm running to the ball, but it's not turning out. Man, it took me a year and a half before I finally got lucky. So sometimes it's just consistency. Just keep running to the ball, keep striving, and eventually the ball's gonna come your way. That's just the football gods.
How do you feel about 6-2 this fall, having a winning streak of 2 straight with this momentum going into the ball?
6-2 is okay. I prefer 8-0. That's just me. I don't know who else agrees with that, but it's cool. But we just gotta keep going. It's so much football left. We got to take this bye, but we got to take it seriously. We got to take our byes, take care, get rest, so that way we got a tough NFC stretch coming in here. So, we got to be prepared for that. So, and we got to make sure we continue winning that stretch.
How do you guys evaluate your run defense? There were some struggles there today, stopping them on that level. What do you guys need to do to make that part of your defense?
That's the thing. I think we're getting a different game plan from everyone else, and I think there was a couple points in the game where we were kind of surprised about the run. There were some 3rd and longs they ran it where we were surprised and maybe got caught off guard. So we just got to own our keys a little bit more and just be prepared for anything. I think teams realize we have a really good defense, so they're going to try to hit us in the most bizarre ways. So we got to expect the unexpected at this point. For me, it hit home for me because Damon's like my little brother. I remember when he got drafted. He reached out to me. We had the same agent. And he called me and said, hey, man, I'm super happy to play with you. And, how does it and he just asked me a bunch of questions. I'm like, man, and I know about his injuries. Like, I'm not really expected to play. And, he's texting me. He's frustrated. He's not playing. And, for me, and I'm trying to tell him, I'm like, just be patient. Your time's coming. And when he got cleared and he got his green light to play, man, internally I wish I could have watched him, but, just play out there with him, knowing how hungry he was to get out the field. He's out there begging for scout team reps so he could get better, get back in the rhythm of things. So for me, it hit home for me because that's like my little brother, man. We hang out, we go bowling every Monday. I take him bowling. I whoop his butt in bowling. I hope y'all know that. But, for me, I'm just happy he's playing. He's getting back in his rhythm because, I think he loved the game more than anybody on his team.
Micah, what do you think the key is to tightening up the run defense?
Like I said, we got to expect the unexpected, and we just got to own our keys. We got to dial in. I think we all know we want to pass rush, and that's kind of like our superpower, and that's what we're really good at. But we gotta stop the run to get to those pass situations, and we just gotta own our keys, and obviously we gotta start work our hands a lot more, and get off blocks.
So there he is, Micah Parsons, following his first career touchdown in the NFL. How about that? He returned it all the way. It was an interesting play. We saw it earlier in the show on the highlight package if you want to go back and look at it. Justin Fields had a chance to touch him and put him down by contact. Instead, he jumped right over the top of him, and Parsons took it home. What was your thought on the defense and how they performed?
Oh, the defense was remarkable. And once again, of course, Micah Parsons was just as great as a defender out there. But what you love most about this guy is not the, freakish athletic ability. It's not his versatility. It's his motor and his heart out there. If you look at that play where he scored, he was past the quarterback. Most guys would have given up. He came back, chased down the ball, picked up the ball, and took it all the way to the end zone. Used his best, running back impersonation out there. So not only is the guy uber talented, but he has an unbelievable motor, and that's gonna last in this league a very long time.
Yeah, he's relentless. And what an amazing athletic play by Justin Fields, huh? The jump over him. Wow, I can't believe that. Anyways, you talk about his ability to just be relentless and his ability just to keep going. It's rubbing off. And you're starting to see guys fly around. You're starting to see guys not give up on plays simply because of the fact they saw him do it in previous weeks. He's going to continue to be a leader in that regard. He doesn't necessarily need to be the vocal leader. I don't think they're listening to his post-game interviews, but they see exactly what he does on the field every week, and they want to try to duplicate that.
I see you calling out Justin Fields from across the way. That was low. But you know what quarterback would never do that? Dak Prescott. He was our quarterback today. We hear from QB1 when we come back. We'll go right back out to AT&T Stadium right after this. Second game back from injury for Dak Prescott. 2 passing touchdowns, 1 on the ground as well for QB1. Here he is at the podium following the 49-29 win.
Yeah, Dak, can you just talk about the Clarence Hill Forward Star Telegram? The offense certainly had it going. You were as wide open as you've been all season, scoring 4 touchdowns on your first 4 drives. How good did you feel? How good to feel to get the offense finally going?
Yeah, it felt great. That's something that we talked about during the week, and as I said in the past, just understanding the team we have, the defense that we have, we got to reward these guys and go get some touchdowns and set our standard, knowing our expectations and who we are and what we can be. We had to go put it out there, and I think we owed that to ourselves more importantly, just from the work and everything that we put in, winning some of these games close and grinding them out. It was important for us to go out there and start fast.
How did you feel?
Oh, yeah, I felt great. I felt great. As I told y'all, I've got a lot of confidence in myself and this team and what we're capable of doing, our receivers. And other than, honestly, the interception, which I put on me and that's overconfidence, honestly. Once again, just trying to believing I can't miss. And right there, once again, it's a communication. I'll go back to CD, and we already went back, and, hey, I trust you. I mean, I know it's a dangerous throw, and I know it's obviously ended up in an interception, but I think you'll see we'll make that play later in the year. And sure, people say it's a dangerous throw and it's aggressive, but that's the way I'm going to play.
Make no mistake, Dak's running game needs to be part of our running game. You have the touchdown today. You've got the 25-yard carry. Take us through what you planned going in and what you were able to do with your legs today.
Yeah, I mean, tell her we said, hey, please. Obviously feeling well, feeling healthy, knowing that I can run the ball. It's just going to open this offense up more, obviously open up the running game. And, it was a great play call by Kellen, just great with the timing of it. And, when I stuck my arms out, that was for Jerry. Here you go. You asked for it, you got it. So.
DallasCowboys.com. Sticking to the running game and what you were able to do with your legs today, when you are able to bounce off of tackles and rattle it off what was a QB sneak for, 25 yards in the first down, what kind of message do you feel that sends to defenders who maybe thought that you didn't have the legs or that you just stopped running late?
Yeah, I mean, I know who I am. I know what I'm capable of. I'm not necessarily worried about sending messages to these guys. I think more importantly, credit that QB sneak to our offensive line. I mean, I had my head down just trying to go get the first down and just moving my feet. And I'm like, wait a minute, nobody's touched me yet. And just kind of came out of that and looked up, and it was just me and the safety. So, I mean, going for a QB sneak untouched until 20 yards down the field is credit to those guys. And credit to the receivers and just everybody. Putting a hat on somebody, as I said, finishing plays. We talked about it early in the week, making sure that we finish plays and all the way through, and making sure that we have more bodies and more jerseys on the camera than they do.
Calvin Watkins, Dallas Morning News. So it looks as if you cut your other thumb on that play?
Yeah. Just my luck right now. It's all right. I mean, yeah, I guess when going down, I guess he stepped on my hand or something. Scraped right there by the nail. Just was bleeding a lot, but not painful. It'll be all right. Just skin.
What does tempo do for you guys, especially early in the ball game?
Yeah, tempo is huge. Just the pace of operation, that just puts pressure on the defense. Obviously makes them make more simple calls, I guess you can say. Put pressure on the defensive coordinator. And for us, we know what we're trying to get to, and we can communicate well. We can muddle huddle, as you want to say, and we're great on the ball as well, just in our communication. So just changing that up, being able to get into turbos, being able to stay on the ball, huddle up. The defense doesn't know what to expect, and when you're able to start a drive and bounce in and out of it, that's great. And I think that's going to be huge for us moving forward.
Safe to say that the confidence level for the offense elevated from Week 7 to Week 8, and now you got a bye week to get ready for the Green Bay Packers in Week 10. When we come back, we wrap up the 49-29 win over the Chicago Bears, tie a bow on that, and look ahead to the bye week and what's ahead for your Dallas Cowboys.
The Cowboys OT was brought to you by Sleep Number. Sleep Number, the official sleep and wellness partner of the Dallas Cowboys. Blockchain.com, trusted by millions, trusted by America's team. And by NFL Game Pass. You'll never miss a game again. Enjoy full and condensed game replays from Week 1 to the Super Bowl.
200 rushing yards and 7 total touchdowns for the Dallas Cowboys in their win over the Chicago Bears. 49-29, the final score from AT&T Stadium, as the Cowboys move into their bye week on a high note, 6-2, and squarely in contention in the NFC that, at least at this point in the season, looks wide open. Welcome in to Cowboys OT in the final segment. We got Barry Church, Nate Newton, Isaiah Stanback wrapping things up. I'm Kyle Yeomans. What's next for the Cowboys? You head into this bye week. What do you want to see them improve upon?
Well, offensively, I think they got to improve a little bit on the receivers as far as getting separation from the defensive backs out there. I mean, we've seen it so far. They haven't really gotten a lot of separation. There's tight windows that Dak Prescott has to throw into. They're doing a better job of actually catching the football and being more consistent in that regard. But overall, I'd like to see these receivers get a little bit more open, making the windows a little bit more open for Dak Prescott.
For me, I'd just like to see the offensive line get a little bit cleaner in their technique, especially my left tackle when they're switching with my guard. I'd like to see that be a little bit more cleaner and keep them off Dak. It's not so much the sacks, but as just letting them leak into him. You got to finish the block.
find a resolution for this run defense. This run defense has to find a way to get shored up. Obviously, we added Big John Hankins this past week. We have to find a way to get him enrolled into the defense. But we also have the young gun, okay, at the linebacker position, and we have to get him in there as well, okay? And then on the offensive side of the ball, we have to be able to line up and throw the ball. Right now, we know the play-action pass works, but right now I don't think we have any confidence in their ability to just simply line up, beat somebody off the line of scrimmage, run a nice route, and deliver a nice ball on them.
And it really looks like the bye week is coming at a good time, too. Couple guys banged up on the defensive side of things. You already saw Ezekiel Elliott not available. Does a bye week help out? You guys played. I mean, it helps, right?
It's a perfect time for a bye week.
Okay.
I never had one. We had them, but we
Nate
never had
doesn't take
one.
time off. Nate doesn't need a bye week.
He had
He's
too
Nate
many
Newton.
donuts.
Yeah, taking all the donuts. That's what we get for these noon kickoffs is the donuts all throughout the studio, and we got to get through it and push through here on Postgame. But that does it for us here on Cowboys OT. The Dallas Cowboys get the win over the Chicago Bears, 49-29, the final score. For Barry Church, Nate Newton, Isaiah Stanback, I'm Kyle Yeomans. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you in Week 10, Cowboys-Packers.